Hello everyone and welcome back to the TradeSpace YouTube channel. I have some very exciting news to announce this December 1st. I have started a new signals group. So you might say, okay, well there's a lot of people in this world who have signals groups, so what's so special about yours? And that's a really good question. I think that the most important thing to note here is that these are not signals given by me based upon my analysis. I have completely taken out the opinions and the subjectivity out of the market, and I have introduced only facts. These signals are data driven, and they answer one question, the only question that a trader really should ever ask, and that is, what is the probability that the market will rise between date A and date B? And if we look at things historically over the past 40 years, which is how far back my data goes, if we look at things historically over the past 40 years, we'll see that there are a lot of trends where certain dates the market will rise, certain dates the market will fall. And we can look back at our data and we can determine things like the historical probability of this happening again. It's my Discord group right here. This is where I post my signals at. So let's look at the first one here. I'm actually in this one right now. This is something that I posted, so you can see for yourself if it's actually a winner or not, since this is I'm posting this before our exit date. So historically speaking, over the past 40 years, we can look back at data and we can determine the real-time probability of something happening. So let's look at the S&P 500 for a second. We have our asset here, S&P 500, and all of these are for the S&P 500. Long or short, if you go long on November 20th and you exit on December 4th with a 3% stop loss, you have an 81.2% probability of winning a trade over the past 40 years. Now, we're going into a completely different section here of trading because we're no longer talking about subjective points that are in the market where maybe I see one thing and you see something else. This is just pure hard facts. This is pure historical data. If you enter on 11/20 and you exit on 12/4 and you did that every single year for the past 40 years, you would win over 80% of the time. My signals have absolutely everything to them. They have the stop loss, the probability of winning the trade, which is the most important thing, your average profit over the past 40 years, your average loss over the past 40 years. You have your consecutive wins. This is how many times in a row this trade will win year after year. Buying 11/20, selling 12/4 will win, historically speaking, 14 times in a row, or at least that's the maximum that it will win. The most consecutive losses it's had in the last 40 years is only 2. Only 2. A lot of these trades are like that. They have a lot of consecutive wins and a small amount of consecutive losses. Very important. If you look at things historically, the more times this trade loses, the higher the probability of it winning the next year. Most recent loss is 2021. And if we look at our most recent loss and we say that, okay, if it lost in 2021, that means it won in 2022. So we have one consecutive win thus far, and our average consecutive wins is 4. That means on average, over the past 40 some odd years, this trade will win 4 times in a row, on average. Your average consecutive loss is only 1.25 over the past 40 some odd years. So using this information, we know that there is a higher than 80% probability that this trade will win this year. Now, do we know for a fact that it'll win this year? No, we don't. We have no idea. December 4th hasn't happened yet, but it's likely that it will be a winning trade. So this is a lot of what you get with my signals. You get reliable data that frankly no one else has. Posting this video on December 1st here, so we still have several days left in this trade. Okay, so let's look to see what another trade that I posted looked like this year. It's the first one I posted. You can see it has a little bit less data, but I'm always gathering more data and adding it to there. This is constantly improving every single day. So let's look at it real quick. We have a long entry, 11.1, and an exit of 11.6. We have a 1 3/4 stop loss and a 71.8% probability of winning. Now we have 10 consecutive wins and 4 consecutive losses over the past 40 years. The most recent loss was 2022. So using this information, we can determine the probability and the likelihood that the market will continue to rise. And if you look at this, it's a daily chart for S&P. This actually predicted almost the exact date of the market returning into a bullish state. Now that the market is out of the summer bear trends, it's beginning to become more bullish for the end of the year. Let's see how this trade went for us. 11.1 entry here and 11.6 exit right here. We had a nice little win. Let's look at another one real quick. Here's 11.19 to 11.24, which is a smaller one that I posted recently. See how that went for us. 11.19, we actually push it to 11.20. So an entry here and a 11.24 exit. Nice little win. Not too bad for just a couple day hold. Now I did post one more, and it's the one that we talked about at first, and that is 11.20 to 12.4. We are still in this trade. 11.20 here, this is our entry, and our exit is to be determined. So this is an incredible way to trade, quite frankly. To be able to know your probabilities before you even enter a trade is something that vast majority of people out there who are currently trading don't know. They don't know the probability of them winning or losing a trade as soon as they enter, or for that matter, even before they enter. Now with this data going back over 40 years, we can know the probability of winning a trade before we even enter it. So how can you maximize a strategy like this? Well, a great way to do this is to not just trade SPX, we can trade others as well. We can trade ETFs, things like SPXL, things like the SPY. Computer is extra slow today. We can trade any of those very easily. And we can maximize our wins. So another thing that we're in right now currently is a long-term hold. It's a November to December hold. It has a very high probability of winning, over 80%. It's about a 30-day hold. And we do post long-term and short-term trades. So you saw some of the shorter-term trades here. You can use your ETFs to take quick profits here. You can trade options. You can trade even your current strategy. If you want to use my data and use your current strategy, then you can absolutely do that. Use your current strategy to find a place that you think would be a good time to buy or to sell, and then look at my data to determine what the actual historical probabilities of that are. So, if you're looking at this and you're really intrigued, if you have any questions, you can always message me. I'm very, very open to answers or to giving good answers. I do show my actual portfolio. In fact, if we look at gains here, you'll see some of my winners, more recent ones from last week, and some others here. It's my personal portfolio since January 1st of this year, up 72% as of November 8th. It's actually gone up even more since then. So I do show my gains, and I will show my losses. I don't have any losses yet, but nothing is perfect. You can't be a perfect trader. It doesn't exist, unfortunately. But if you're looking at this and you're extremely interested in it, and you're asking yourself, well, how do I get to be a part of this? It's really simple. If you have any questions, you can message me from my email, tradespace001@gmail, or you can go on to any of my Fiverr links in my description, and you can message me on there. But if you're really, really excited and you really want to be a part of this group, then simply just go and click on the PayPal link in this description. I'm doing a special promotion where I'm doing half price for the month of December for any new people who join. Anybody who refers a friend gets a free month, and their friend gets a half price month. So signals are normally $125 per month. For the month of December, they are $60. So send me $60 in the PayPal link in the description of this video, along with your Discord username, and I will send you the link to come and join my channel. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to message me. I'm more than happy to answer them. Thank you all very much, and best of luck trading to you.